Flights around America, they were grounded for hours this Wednesday after a computer glitch shut down a pre-flight monitoring system.
Our Ethan Kibbe is now live at the Buffalo airport tonight, where the ripple effects of the shutdown are still being felt. Ethan, what's the very latest?
Mike and Eva, good evening. The problem this morning was the notice to air travel, or notice to air mission system rather, or NOTAMs, that pilots need before they take off. It warns them if there are runway issues, if they could encounter weather issues, among other things. That used to be a phone-based system. You'd call in, but now it's done online, and a computer glitch shut the whole thing down. Now, that obviously affected commercial travel, like here at the Buffalo Niagara International Airport, but it also dealt a blow to military flights as well. This was a huge problem for hours, and the ripple effects are still being felt. Earlier today, we talked to travelers who had felt those effects of this shutdown that lasted for several hours and has led to the delay of more than 9,000 flights nationwide. One Warren County man we spoke with was coming back from Florida. Said he landed in Atlanta at Hartsfield-Jackson International, one of the busiest airports in America, and he says it was a surreal scene. They'd been told before they landed that flights were going to be grounded, but they weren't told why. And so he walked into the airport, and it was just at a standstill. Nobody was moving. The place was packed elbow to elbow. Here's what he had to say.
It was pretty chaotic. While we were still on our flight, they told us that when we got off, there'd be a 2-hour FAA full ground stop. So when we got off the plane, people were stacked up on top of people. There wasn't a seat left. There were people sitting in the aisleways.
Mike and Eva, he told us that he'd heard all flights have been grounded 22 years ago, September 11th, 2001. So he said it was terrifying to hear that message. But when he got to the airport, people seemed fairly calm. So he knew it wasn't something tragic, but still a nightmare, yet another one in what's been a difficult year of air travel. Mike and Eva?
So, Ethan, now what does this mean for the airline industry moving forward?
We don't know. What we do know is there's going to be investigations. That is certain. We're hearing from both Republican and Democratic members of the House and the Senate saying they're going to launch investigations into the FAA, trying to figure out how this happened and trying to determine what has to be done to make sure it doesn't happen again. This would be something that if it were a cyber attack, which it's not believed to be, but if it were, you could cripple the country this way. And so obviously there's going to be an awful lot of investigation going forward.
Ethan, thanks. And Eva, think of the people getting up this morning and all of a sudden this happens and it's just chaos.
It is, and it continues tonight. Again, that ripple effect happening for travelers all throughout this Wednesday.